Welcome, everybody, to the Dice Tower News. Let's take a look. Not a lot of news today, but there's some interesting things. I'm wearing my Scooby-Doo tie in honor of our first news. Not really. It just happened to work out that way. Jenga Scooby-Doo Edition, the game you never knew you needed.
Oh, got to do this one.
This is Jenga. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so it's Jenga like a sandwich, but they stuck the bread in the middle in that picture.
Isn't the top the bread? What are the different layers?
Oh no, that's the bacon. You're right. The top is the bread.
So
it's
okay,
bread.
What do you got
in lettuce, tomato? There's no bottom bread though, which is disgusting. It's like a tomato on the table.
What do you have to do in this game that makes it different than Jenga?
As far as I think, you just roll a die and it just tells you what color you move, which has been done before. You know, they have color Jenga for that same. I think there was an Uno Jenga and things like that.
I do love Jenga. That's all I'm going to say about this. I do love Jenga.
We needed to round out the news. Sorry, let's move on.
Wow.
New Zombicide accessories are on the way. So we got new stuff for Zombicide 2.0, which came out a month or two ago. And we got tiles coming for this, zombie soldiers, and special black and white dice that you can use. So it looks like CMON is changing their engine to producing stuff for the original Zombicide and now kind of reworking the stuff for the second edition, which I would imagine won't even be called second edition eventually, just it's Zombicide, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, this is the game that keeps on giving, so I'm sure they have tons to go back to and update, right, and bring to the new one. There's got to be just gobs of this stuff.
To remind me, what's the difference with second edition? Did they just streamline some things? I mean, it's not like a wholly revamped thing.
It is like a 1.3 version of the rules for the most part.
They tweak the rules, because there's always kind of weird rules.
But they've been doing that anyway. When they did Zombicide Black Plague,
they changed.
It was already different. So this is much closer. This Zombicide 2 is much closer to Zombicide Black Plague.
Got it. Yeah, I haven't played Zombicide in a very long time. I'd love to get it back to a table. I like that style.
Which one did you play, Steven?
Original Zombicide, and I haven't played anything, I don't think, since, like, when it first came out.
I really think, knowing you, that I think you would like the newest one that just came out last year, the Night of the Living Dead, because it's based on the classic movie, and it has a different feel to it. And it feels like the movie. Like in the first scenario, you're just boarding up the windows as fast as you can.
That's very thematic. Oh, yeah. Oh, really I would love that. Well, but speaking of that, what's that next news here about another IP?
So in the same thing, based on the critically acclaimed 5-star movie, Army of the Dead, just released last weekend on Netflix. So you can be here's the thing that I think they did a good job. It feels like Army of the Dead was made to be made into a video/board game, because the characters in it are, they give them a couple qualities and a couple skills. This person's a safecracker and he acts this way, and this person can fly the helicopter.
So, Army of the this is a new movie, Army of the Dead?
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix.
And it
from Zack Snyder.
Yeah, is it any good?
It's a popcorn, fun movie type style. Okay. Basically, the plot of the movie is a zombie outbreak happens, but the military manages to contain it to Las Vegas. All right? For whatever reason. Well, that's where it started. And so they're going to nuke Las Vegas, but the main characters of the movie are hired to go into the zombie territory and grab a whole pile of money and get out before the nukes hit. And without getting killed by the gazillion zombies in the city.
Right.
I got to see this movie.
And I think
it's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah, you would enjoy it probably. It's just over the top zombie. It's not like your slow paced zombies are around the corner. It's zombies everywhere type thing.
Is it comedic at all, or is it mostly serious zombie trying to get away from them?
It's an action movie. I mean, it's an action movie, so there's some funny stuff. There's some dramatic stuff.
It's Zack Snyder comedy.
Okay, all right.
Let's get away from zombies. And The Hobbit Battle of Five Armies is coming back, an updated version of this. So, this first came out in 2013. And now they're going to add the stuff that was in the collector's edition of this. And it has the expansion. Basically, it's the same Battle of Five Armies. Battle of Five Armies is the same as the War of the Rings 2nd edition that came out 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. So they use the rules for the. I got the collector's edition, and they used those rules which they had tweaked already to bring it out to the more of the standard edition. Very happy that more people can get this game again because awesome, just awesome sauce. I love this.
Yeah, I'm in a minority.
Both of you guys played both of these games?
Yes, I prefer this one actually, but I'm in a minority on that one.
Played both of these games, War of the Ring and Battle of the Five Armies?
Yeah.
I have played War of the Ring extensively. I've only dabbled. I've never even truly played a full game of Battle of the Five Armies.
So you like the other one better, you think?
Very different. But War of the Ring is my favorite. Number one best game of all time. We'll play it anytime I have, 3 hours and plus the 2 hours to set it up and take it down.
Got it. So avoid it. Okay.
No, I wouldn't say avoid this. I mean, if you're going to buy one, War of the Ring is just brilliant in every level.
I will be picking up Battle of the Five Armies.
All right. This next game is actually not an actual board game, but it's on the PC, and it's designed by Richard Garfield, designer of Magic the Gathering and many other games. This is coming to PC. It's called Roguebook. Really terrible name. It's a roguelike deck builder. So there's roguelike deck builders are pretty popular at this point in time, I guess. And it says this is going to encourage you to not cull your deck. It encourages you to have lots of cards in your deck to unlock special talents for your heroes. I'm not opposed to that because culling your deck is kind of almost the go-to strategy for deck builders.
Wait, what does roguelike mean?
Roguelike is basically where you play through a series of random encounters usually, and sometimes there's bosses at the end. It's almost like a randomized just go through, you're getting stronger, the enemies that get stronger, and you're trying to beat it. You go through a series of little missions type thing.
Okay.
That's probably
also the idea in all these roguelike games is the idea of dying and restarting. This is a video game thing, Steven, so that's kind of where it comes from. And you do instead of doing a big run through a video game, it's a lot of little shorter runs. Some of them let you carry things over from one little run to the next. Some of them give you a hard reset. That's what they mean by rogue. You're going out and your life, you die, whatever, your run ends, you're done, you have to start again.
Okay, got it.
I don't know how these card games work, but Tom's right, they are very popular right now.
All right, also very popular, nostalgically wise, we have The Goonies is coming here from Funko Games. It's called The Goonies Never Say Die. Now, I don't remember, did the Goonies poster look like that? Because I like that cover, how it's the picture of them and it's also a skull.
Look at that. Oh, that's kind of cool.
I think it kind of looks like that, Tom. That's a new illustration, but I think the Goonies cover kind of looks like that, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. And they've already announced an expansion for this too. So the four main characters in this game are the four boys, and then the girls are added in an expansion. I don't remember what that expansion's called, but they've also announced that too. Mm-hmm. And you can be Chunk.
I was never. This is I was
never
a fan of Goonies, and not that I wasn't not a fan, but I just didn't really. I was too old for this when this was out there and they were becoming. So I don't really know much about them. Interesting, maybe.
Yeah, I don't care about this theme whatsoever.
Well,
not something I have any relation to.
You are in the minority there, I think. At least people our age. This is a movie. If you grew up in the 80s, this was a movie, that people really liked. So
yeah, no, I don't have any relationship to it. I might not have even seen the whole thing. This looks a little bit like maybe the Horrified game from the same studio.
Sure. Well, this is their bread and butter now. So they've done Horrified, which was a co-op game. They did the Back to the Future. They just released that Fast and Furious co-op game. So it seems like it's their shtick, right?
Yeah.
Like co-op games. All right, website Board Game Atlas. You may have gone there before if you're watching, folks, because they own board game prices. People like to go there to compare prices of board games on the internet, but they also have like a little database. They're in many ways they're trying to be a competitor to Board Game Geek. Now they've launched a new review system with, I'm going to put quotes here, top tier critics. I put the quotes because I'm on it, and I don't want you to think I think I'm a top tier critic.
Yeah, you do.
What they do, though, is it's kind of like Rotten Tomatoes, where there will be two ratings for a game, like the rating everybody gives it and then the rating that the critics give it. Which, incidentally, on Rotten Tomatoes, I always look at what people give it over the critics.
Oh, always. I do too. Yeah, I mostly care about that. Of course, you'll think of it a little bit differently when you're on this site. So
on this one, listen to the critics.
Did they approach you to be
Yeah,
who is it? It's you. Are you the Dice Tower that's the logo there? That would be you?
I think it's different people from the Dice Towers. Yeah,
okay.
There's different reviewers. They asked if they could do it. I was why not? I don't see a problem with it. It's Dice Tower Sans Z.
Okay.
He owns the the digital
the NFT.
Digital copyright to my
NFT all his reviews. So I can't do anything.
My likeness.
Z has the non-fungible token to all of his reviews, so you can't reproduce them at all.
All right, two more pieces of news, folks. Disney Sidekicks has been announced from Spin Master. This is designed by Eric Lang. Eric Lang announced that he's going to be working on more family-style games, more welcoming games of sorts, and this is one. We don't know a ton of things about this other than it's like it says it's reverse castle defense. So you are getting together with some of the other Disney sidekicks, and you can see some there on the cover, and you are trying to get into this castle here. Apparently, Captain Hook, Gaston, Scar, Jafar, and Maleficent have captured your favorite heroes, locked them in the castle, and you are Timon and Pumbaa, Tinkerbell, and a whole bunch of other people. You got to go rescue villagers, collect locks, build your powers to become your own hero, and go in the castle.
Okay.
So it looks like each time you fight a specific villain. Honestly, this sounds like it fits in that same line we were just talking about.
Yeah. It really looks like Castle Panic. I know that it's the reverse of that because you're the one going in, but boy, it really looks like Castle Panic.
I like the cover a lot, though.
Cover's really, really cool, cute.
I do not like this whole,
No?
It looks like a Disney show during the late 90s where you have, I wish I remembered one of the names for them, but, the whole, for a while there, Disney was making all these, kind of shows. This looks like that, with the swirl and the, whatever. No, I don't like anything about this.
I like the sidekick aspect of it. We'll see. I hope it's a good game.
I do too.
I hope so too, but again, right now, looking at this, first impression, I don't like anything about it, but I might end up loving the game, of course.
All right, and finally, back in 2005, Cosmos released a Catan 3D Collector Edition, which is quite pricey. We have one in the Dice Tower Library. I was gifted it a while ago. It comes in a chest. It's really pretty. Sculpted mountains and everything. So they're re-releasing this. That came out for the 10th anniversary edition. I guess this is this is not even the 30th anniversary. I don't know what. Anyway, they're just re-releasing it. Anyhow, it says in here, for example, it's selling for $500 to $700 in the BGG marketplace. Pretty expensive game. But this is going to be pricey game. It's going to cost $300 or 300 euros. That's weird. Pay bucks. And it comes in a box, which I think is better looking than the chest. The chest is neat, but it's a pain to carry around. Like you have, Ms. Bonniger, you have that Lord of the Rings special edition. That book is neat, but it's kind of a pain to carry around.
You can't transport it anywhere unless it's in your car, and then it's really, really hard to transport.
Put the seatbelt on it.
Yeah, you kind of want to do that. I was kind of surprised at the price point of $300 for this. Catan has a lot less stuff in it, really. Maybe when you think of all the wood now is becoming plastics, maybe that's it. So I was kind of surprised that it would be $300 for
I'm not
Catan.
surprised. People will pay this.
Oh,
It
yeah, they
happen.
will. Oh, yeah. So it's no.
What did you expect it to be, Steven?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have to like literally like look and see how much. It's hard to tell from these pictures how much stuff is in here. But right, there's a very small number of mountains and forests and rock, whatever the different parts of Catan are. The biggest amount of stuff is like the roads and the houses, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
So I would have thought
tiles,
this is.
I think, because they're painted. That
Oh.
Again, I've seen these. I mean, these look just like the ones I have, and in person they look really good.
Are those tiles painted? Or
The ones I have feel like they're pewter almost.
wait, but that's for the other edition.
Not pewter. I'm sorry. What's the word for it? Ceramic. Sorry.
Okay, but that's for the edition that you have the original one of these, whatever it was called.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the way,
no,
this
but
does include
this one-
cities and knights. It has that expansion in it, so it has all the little knights in it too.
Oh, well, if it has that, no, I don't know. I would have.
This
thought
is painted, I think, too, though, Steven. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I really wish they would have done for this edition? This might be nitpicking, but all these terrain tiles look lovely. And then the stupid disc sitting on top of them ruins the aesthetic. I wish they would have made a space for each of these discs on each tile. How do you not do that? Like there's always a number on there.
It does fit. I again from the other one. I know in the mountains for sure that disc
Yeah, in
fits
the mountains.
Yeah. I think
That's
on
it.
the other ones. Yeah, I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
It's
There's
just-
not a. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It seems like it should have been very easy for them to have an obvious spot where you put one of these tokens.
Mhm.
It'll never look
Oh,
ugly
resin.
because the token is never missing. It's always
I'm not
in
sure.
there. So
Not sure. I agree. I'm looking at some of the ones that don't have things on it. It's because I think they want to make the tile look really nice. And then you throw the chip on.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't
They're
know.
not ceramic.
Interesting.
They're resin. That's what they are. I think.
well, I'm
Anyway,
getting one for sure.
There you go.
you are for Christmas.
There you go.
Alrighty, folks. And actually, it's coming out in August. It's not too far away, folks. So,
Cool.
All right.
alrighty, folks. That's the news. Let's keep moving.
Nope, you forgot one.
All right, folks. We accidentally cut off there. When I say we, it was me who cut off there before the last piece of news. I forgot I stuck this at the end, and that is Asmodee has dropped out of Gen Con 2021. Normally, we wouldn't mention each publisher not going. There are several big publishers not going. Paizo is another one that's not going. There are still many publishers going. In fact, I want to be clear, the Dice Tower is going to be there.
Absolutely.
I know CGE is going to be there, Pandasaurus will be there, and there's many, many more. It's a very long list. But Asmodee dropping out is no small matter since they took up about 10% of the gaming floor.
Of the exhibit hall floor, yeah.
Right,
I mean,
of the
huge.
exhibit hall.
Yeah. I still think Gen Con's going to be a fantastic experience. So this does not, while sure I'd love to see them there, this does not truly bother me. It's going to be a more intimate experience. Hey, that's not bad. And I think a lot of the mid-size publishers, and smaller ones will end up doing better, which, that can't hurt to have some smaller companies do well at the show.
Yeah.
I predict Gen Con's going to sell out. Whatever number they reduce it to, I think they said they're going to drop it from like 70 to 30,000. I predict it's going to sell out.
I believe that they will sell every one of the badges that they want to sell between 30 and 40,000. I believe that is correct.